Hello guys, welcome to CS Tech Solution. Today's is learn as a data analytics. Today's is learn as a part 5 is a spreadsheet in the data's preparations as a spreadsheet is a software applications is used to store, organize, calculate and analyze the data in the rows and the column. And the common spreadsheet software as a first as a Google Sheet and second is a Microsoft Excel as Google Sheet is a online software and Microsoft Excel is a license based on the Microsoft as build and the spreadsheet as basic as a spreadsheet is tables is made of rows or the columns and where data is entered and managed and simple definitions a spreadsheet is a digital notebooks and used to store and organize the data and examples of show these tables and the rows and the columns wise store the data and the four columns is there as id names and age and the cities and all the data is separate with a row as a first row as a row for as a 101 IDs data and second IDs to all the data as so and the third ID to third student data says to show and the parts of the spreadsheet as a workbook as a spreadsheet files spreadsheets as a page inside the workbooks and row means as a horizontal lines and one student record has to show and the colon is a vertical lines and it is so as same data types of the colon and the cell is the box and where the rows and the columns has to meet as a one square as a one cell and cell address means as a locations of the cells as a1 and the b2 and find the cell address in the columns names as first as a b c and anyone has to write and as rows names as so the combines to use as a cell address as a means as a column names and one is a row name and example as a b and c and a means as a names b means age and c means city so the a1 is names of the first student and as a b1 is age is find the first student age and the c1 is the cities of the first student and as a Google Sheet is a free online spreadsheet applications by the Google and it's work through the web browsers and as a automatically save your the works and the features is free to use as a cloud based as a online auto saved and share with the others and the multiple peoples can edit together and the advantage is accessible from the anywhere and no need to install the software and easy the collaborations automatic backups and the examples teachers is create the Google Sheet to the record as a students marks and the names marks and the science sorry as names maths and the science and as a first as names as gives and after the maths and science marks as to gives in this table and second software is Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet application is developed by the Microsoft and it is widely used for as a data analyst calculation chart reports and the features as a powerful formulas as a chart and the graph pivot tables and the data analyst tools and the offlines and the online versions and the advantage is a fast calculations as a advanced analysis professionals reportings and handle the large data set. And like the example has to show, a company stores the employee salaries details in the Excel, so the employees names and the salaries has to gives in these tables. Fourth is a data entry. A data entry means as a entering the information into a spreadsheet, like the three columns names has to gives ID names and the and marks and the ID and the column wise and one column has same data types is there, so like the IDs, so the ID is a number formats and the names is a strings format as to show in one columns, and the marks is to gives like integers numbers, and the typings this the informations into Excel or the Google Sheet is called as a data entry. And good data entries practice as enter the correct data, as avoid the spelling mistakes, as use the same date formats, and do not leave the unnecessary blanks cell, and the double checks the values as before the saving. Fifth is a data validation. A data validation is controls what the users can enter into a cell. And the simple definition is data validation is prevent the incorrect data entries. And the examples has marks and allow the values in 0 to as 100. So the 95 is acceptable, but 150 is rejected. And example 2 as a genders as allow the values like males and the female. And if someone has typed the ABC is Excel is show the errors. And why is use the data's validation as a prevent the mistakes, improve the data's quantities, as a save times, and ensure the consistencies. 6 is a data formatting. Data formatting is a change the appearance of the data without changing its values. And like example as a before the formatting as a names and salaries, and the salaries is simple format to write as a 40,000, and after the formatting as a salaries first as a symbol as to gives like rupees dollars, and after the as a comma says to gives, and last numbers of as a dot is to gives, and common formatting options as bold, italics, as a font colors, background colors, as a border, currency formats, as a percentage format, date format, anyone. And the benefit is make the date as make the data is easy to read, as improve the prevent presentations, and highlight the important information. Seventh is cleansings a spreadsheet data's. Data's cleansings means as a finding and is correcting the errors in the datas. And the common problems as a duplicate datas as before the names in the two types as print the Rahul, and after the removing the duplicate as only the one time as print is Rahul, and the duplicate data is removed. And missing the data as a fill this missing the values or as a remove the incompleted record, so the incompleted record as a remove. And spelling error as before the cities, and the cities two time as a Surat, but as spelling mistakes and the double t's to write, so the after the cleansing as cities names is spelling mistakes is correct. And the benefits is improve the accuracies, reduce the errors, better analysis, and the better report. 8 is sorting the data, as a sorting means arrange the data in a specific orders. And these are two types, as ascending is a to z and the small to larger. and the descending has to decide as a z to a or as a larger to the smaller. And examples as a before the sorting as marks has to give like as not ascending or the descending order, anyone's as a names and gives as the marks in a unsorting format. So the ascending order to small small to large numbers has to move in the tables, and so as 70 as a first after the 80 and last as a 95, and the descending order to arrange so the 95 as a first as a first data, and second as a 80, and last as a 70. And why use the sorting as find the highest or the lowest values, and arrange the names as alphabetically, and organize the data as quickly. Ninth is filtering the data. Filtering is so only the data that match a condition. In the others data is the hidden but as not the deleted. And the example as a student tables, and give the names and the cities, and after apply the filter as a cities equal the Surat. So as find the table to the data as the cities as Surat, and this data has to show in the result as Rahul's and the Amit is cities is Surat, so two data as the print, and only the student from as Surat are the shown. And the benefit is quickly to find the specific information, save the time, analyze the selected records. And 10th is a freeze pens. As a freeze pens is keeps as a select the rows and the columns is visible, and while as a scrollings. And the example as suppose the spreadsheet as a hundred sorry as a thousand student record, and then you scroll down and the columns is handling the disappears, sorry as a colon headings is disappears. So the without a freeze the panes is as a columns names is not show the as a scrolls in the more records. So you can see the headings, you cannot see the heading, but as after the applying the free stops rows, and first rows is select, and as a free stop rows has to select, and free panels has to select, and after the first record is not scrolls, and another's rows is scrolls in the page, and the headings is the names and the marks is remains as visible while as scrolling. And the benefit is easy to read the larger data set, and keep the headers is visible of any data to show, and improve the navigation. Thank you guys to watch the videos. Please subscribe the channel, on the notification and bell icon.